Okay, there everyone, we're back in Lamplight City. Right, we need to help out, we need to find out who blew this up in order for Sanford Miles?
Mims, if you wouldn't mind.
To answer our question in relation to Hannibal Kirkland.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
There we go. Right. Let's see if a new place has opened up for us. It hasn't. Okay, so how are we supposed to... How are we supposed to find out who sabotaged... He said it was the Redites. Do we have any information on them? He may have told us. I've taken another break, so I can't actually remember. Alright, let's go to the bridge construction site.
Safe for only 25 men at once. I used to draw the line at 2.
Excuse me.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction area.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. I'm looking into the murder of a man who used to work here.
Fordham? You the same man who got Laura Dupre arrested?
Yes, that's right.
Ah, good to meet you. I'm Gerard. My sister Amelie used to work as her cook. Would tell me stories about how horrible Dupre was. Good to see some justice done for a change.
Glad to be of service. And good to meet you as well, Gerard.
So you say you're looking into a murder? You talking about Bowditch?
Yes, that's right. I had a few questions for you, if you don't mind.
Nah, should be okay to talk for a few minutes.
Okay. And what about it?
You worked with Ennis Bowditch, right? What can you tell me about him?
Ennis was fun to talk to, always telling stories. Pretty sure most of them were made up. But it made time go by faster while we worked, and he made me laugh. We weren't really friends, but it's duller without him around, you know?
Oh.
Do you know what Bowditch did on his off time?
Not really. I only saw him on the job. But I know he was seeing a woman. I forget what he said her name was, though.
Did he mention anything else about her?
Oh, sure, but I don't think they're the type of thing that would help you, if you get my meaning.
Right. Anything of a non-personal nature that might help me find her?
Yes, he mentioned she worked as the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
I see. Thanks.
Right, okay.
Do you know any details concerning Bowditch's murder?
I only found out when the boss man told us.
Can you think of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Well, everyone here liked him. I don't think he owed no one money or nothing like that. But maybe someone at his other job wasn't so friendly with him. Who knows?
Other job?
Ennis also worked at the docks as a longshoreman.
Well, that would have been handy to know sooner. Better late than never, I guess.
Rightio.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? No, I don't know anything about that. Who is he?
A serial murderer. He's the one who killed Ennis Bowditch.
And you trying to find him?
That's the plan.
Well then, I wish you luck. Ennis didn't deserve to die the way he did. I hope that murdering bastard gets what he deserves.
So, the Gascon-Chumley Bridge is finally being worked on.
That's right. The project started up again shortly after the election. That Leroy, he's not wasting any time. Maybe a good thing for this city and for the country.
Indeed. I think it will be. How long before the bridge is complete, do you think?
They say it will take 5 years, but who knows? As long as the work is steady, you won't find me complaining.
Do you normally work in construction?
Mostly. Sometimes I be doing other jobs here and there. But I'm lucky to have gotten this job. I think it will keep me in work for a long time. Which is good, because I have 3 mouths to feed at home.
Be sure to watch yourself then. I hear these types of jobs can be dangerous.
Oh, believe me, I know. One slip up and bam, that's the end of you. But I always watch myself.
How's your sister doing?
Good. She still works for the Dupre family, but with that monster Laura gone, she's much happier. She tells me the family is acting like the madame never existed, and the husband raised Amelie's pay, too.
That does sound like an improvement.
It's just a shame 2 others had to die for it.
Would you happen to know anything about the Redites?
I heard some of the other men talking about them, but I don't ask too many questions. Seems to me they just a bunch of angry and confused people with no other way to express themselves than lashing out. I admit I feel sorry for them.
You're not worried about Steam Tech putting you out of a job?
Nah. Machines can only do so much. You still need a man to make them work or to fix them when they're broke. I think them Redites are just making a big fuss over nothing.
Thank you, Gerard. I appreciate the information.
Not a problem, boss.
Rightio, okay. Okay, so speak to the servant girl at Ruin Coffee House. Investigate Gascoigne docks for information on Quidditch.
I don't think there's...
Okay, can't talk to any of them.
They seem to be making pretty decent progress.
If you say so.
I wonder if it would be any fun to tie yourself to that thing and go for a few spins.
Well, probably if you're drunk, but... alright, let's go. Gascoigne docks. Coffee house. I think we have to go to the coffee house anyway. So let's go to the docks first. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Blank surfaces don't stay that way for very long around here.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
Oh my god, he looks like a... Yeah,
Did you
okay.
employ a man named Ennis Bowditch?
I did, yes. He only worked for me occasionally, but he was always punctual and performed his job well. I learned recently that he had been killed. It was a tremendous shame. Workers of his caliber are so hard to come by.
Do you have any information relating to Mr. Bowditch's murder?
I'm afraid not. The truth is, I knew very little about him. It's the same with most of my men. I have a business to run, you see. It affords me very little time to socialize.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a headline in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but I dismissed it as fear-mongering nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
But the Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking and cataloging all the cargo that passes through here. I receive the shipping manifest and make sure that things get unloaded and sent to the right places.
And you do all this by yourself?
Well, of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Thank you for your time. I'll let you return to work.
Right, you are.
Okay.
Sign could use a fresh coat of paint. Ah, the chum. You can never truly get away from it as much as you may try.
Oh, I see, it's that. Okay, I was trying to look at that, but...
What? You want me to howl at it or something?
Trevor Hastings.
Trevor Hastings, is that you?
Why, Detective Fordham. Fancy seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
I'm trying to track down a serial murderer, who I believe is the same man who was breaking into the flower shop.
You don't say. I wish I could help you, but the guy never came back after the night you and your partner came around. Where is your partner anyway?
Oh, he's around.
Well, give him my regards. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get this crate back, or Cecilia will have my head on a platter.
Of course. Good seeing you again.
He's around? That's probably the most clever thing you've said in months. Well done.
Alright, okay. Is that everything here? There's to be, at least for now.
Blanks. No use, Bob.
Okay. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go to the coffee house. Alright, they got anything to say?
About the murder? The Justice Killer?
Yeah, scary stuff.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. He's only killing guys in the chum.
Yeah, but I live in the chum, remember?
Oh yeah. Well, just keep an eye out. And if you do get killed, I just want you to know, I'm not settling your tab.
It's Nice.
Hey, you know, the froth on my beer isn't dripping down this cup. I don't think they washed it. No, one more for me. Yeah.
No, as good as I said. I was dropping out and shit. I'm talking.
Okay, well that appears to be everything. What about this guy?
Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
Wow, got a nice voice.
I understand you were involved with Ennis Bowditch.
Was involved, yes. I haven't spoken to him in nearly 2 months.
Oh, were you not aware of his death then?
What? Ennis is dead?
Well, this is awkward.
Indeed. I'm sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news.
How did it happen?
I'm afraid he was murdered.
Murdered? By who? And why?
Those are exactly the questions I'm trying to answer myself.
Oh, I see. Are you a detective?
A private investigator, yes.
Well, I'll answer what I can. If it helps any, that is.
I'm certain it will.
I like her voice. I really like her voice.
What was your relationship with Mr. Bowditch like?
Oh, well, it was nice at first. He was a proper gentleman-like. But then something changed.
Oh?
It's like I told Ruby. I think he might have got hit on the head at work because he seemed to be a completely different person. He'd get angry for no reason. He even... Well,
Yes.
That bit's not important.
Okay.
At first, I thought he was just going through some rough times, but after a while I realized he'd changed for the worse. So I broke things off. He wasn't too happy about it, but I wasn't going to stick with a man like that.
Could you tell me more about this Ruby you mentioned?
Ruby? Oh, I've known her since we were little. She's my dearest friend. There's not a secret between us. She was a great help when I kicked Dennis to the curb. I'm lucky to know her. Everyone should have someone like Ruby in their life.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? Is that some kind of pesticide?
No, it isn't. Never mind. You've been working here for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes. Coming up on 3 years. Been a real pleasure getting to know all the regulars. They've come to be sort of like a second family. By the way, whatever happened with you and your lady friend?
I beg your pardon?
Oh, that nice lady you met in here a couple of times. Did it work out between the two of you?
Oh, that? No, that was strictly business.
Right. Well, if you see her, tell her I said hello.
Let's get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, right, well. We'll
She's busy. No point bothering her if we've got nothing to ask.
let Upton know that you're missing her. Right. Central Lamp Depot, I guess. Okay. Hammer. Safety first. Oh,
What are you doing?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find out about...
No time for that now. Get in here and shield your eyes.
I beg your pardon?
Just do it.
What's going on exactly?
Shh. Everything ready, Alex? 3, 2, 1, go!
Jesus.
Amazing! It works! It works!
What works?
Aethric lamps! Our experiment was a success!
What exactly have we wandered into here, Miles?
Science experiment.
Too bad you didn't get a chance to read that sign before their little experiment.
Exactly. Does it say hammer? Not sure. Anyway, it says safety first. Wear your glasses. Or goggles, rather. Plumber, maybe? I don't know.
May I ask you a few questions?
Of course! What would you like to know?
Okay.
You worked with a man named Burley Cause, is that right?
Yes, I heard he was killed. Such a senseless tragedy. It's a shame he missed out on our demonstration. He was really interested in Aethric technology.
Wasn't he concerned about losing his job to these technological advances?
He had no reason to. It's been made clear to all the workers that there will always be a place for us, even if our jobs are made obsolete. Unlike some other places, we take care of our own here at the Lamplight Depot.
How noble. But I'm pretty sure he's full of more hot air than the HMS Lenore.
Do you know any details about Mr. Cause's murder?
Hang on.
Unfortunately, I don't. The police were here asking questions, but they didn't give me many details.
Do you know of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Not at all. Burley was very friendly, always treated everyone around here with respect. You know, it's sad to think that for all our leaps forward, we're still really just a bunch of savages.
Is there anything you know about Mr. Cause's personal life that might be relevant?
I know he was married, but I don't believe he had any children. Oh, and he used to talk about his love for fishing.
Could you give me his home address? Perhaps his wife will be willing to speak with me.
Yes, certainly. He lived at 820 Orchard Avenue, apartment 2A.
Thank you for the information.
I feel like I recognise that address, but I don't know why.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I've read about it in the newspaper. A horrible business. It makes me wish we could install more street lamps to keep this city safer at night. Someday, I hope to realize that dream. Then we'll really deserve to be called Lamplight City.
You think brighter streets will stop serial murderers?
It's well known that crime rates are lower in Lyon and Worcester, and they have many more street lamps per square mile.
I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with the amount of wealth in those areas. Has to be all about the lighting.
Yep. You heard it here first. He said the name of the game, Lamplight City. Yeah, if ever you're in trouble, just remember, turn on a light and I'll scare the perpetrator away.
You mentioned something about etheric lamps?
Yes! Weren't you paying attention to our demonstration? You have just witnessed history!
What I
Oh,
witnessed was a blinding flash of light.
Exactly! That flash was the result of years of painstaking research and experimentation. It means that not only does ethericity exist, but it can be used as a source of illumination. If these experiments continue to be successful, as I suspect they will, we'll have etheric street lamps before the end of the decade. Imagine lamps that burn twice as bright, 4 times as long. Oh, this will change everything.
And if it's like anything else we've seen, it'll put a lot of people out of work, too.
With all these promises of technological advancement, have the Redites given you any trouble?
Oh, those tech-fearing dolts. Yes, I'm sorry to say that we've gotten threats from them. They have yet to carry any out, which is unsurprising.
How so?
Groups like that are all bluster and no backbone.
I've seen some evidence to the contrary.
Is that right? Well, we've seen little beyond threatening letters, and I intend to make sure it stays that way.
Do you have any of these letters I might have a look at?
Yes, I have one. I'll give it to you before you leave.
fair enough.
What is it you do here exactly?
Oh, several things. This is the main hub of the city's Department of Illumination. It's really just a grandiose way of saying that this is where all affairs related to street lamps and public lighting are taken care of. But in addition to sending out lamplighters or mechanics to repair damaged lamps, we also do research into new methods of illumination. That's what my personal specialization is. I help develop and test more efficient ways of lighting our streets. I guess you could consider me a modern-day Prometheus. Yes.
More like an everyday pretentious.
Your cooperation is much appreciated.
Happy to help. Here's that letter you were asking about.
To the engineers of chaos and destruction, who are working in direct opposition of the natural order of things, these so-called improvements will be a downfall to our society. If you do not cease your unholy experiments, the Redites will be forced to take actions. You have been warned, PF.
Now that's interesting. Whoever wrote this letter signed it with initials. They can't have been
Idiots.
so stupid as to make themselves so easily identifiable. Can they?
Guess we'll have to find out.
I wouldn't get too close to that thing. It might end up turning you inside out. So this is where all the lamps in the city come from. I can't believe I never bothered finding out before.
That appears to be everything. Yeah, okay. Oh,
There's the bunch of crap they used to build street lamps with.
yeah, crap, yeah. Sure, whatever. Okay. Cab depot? Sure, off we go.
Remember, a black eye is not a badge of honor. Anyone picking a fight will be dismissed immediately. Well, that's hardly any fun, is it?
What else we got here? Nothing, okay. Come on.
Good evening.
Oh, it's you again. Small world.
Indeed. Mr. Shaw, was it?
That's right. So, what brings you around to the cab depot?
I wanted to ask you some questions if you can spare some time.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Reggie
Did you
Willingham.
know Reggie Willingham?
Reggie? Sure, I knew him. Well, just as rather I didn't.
Oh? Why do you say that?
The man was a bore, a scoundrel, a no-good bounder.
I wish he would tell us how he really felt.
The only reason they kept him on here was because he was a good driver.
So it's fair to say you didn't like him?
Nobody did. When I heard he'd been killed, wasn't exactly a surprise. If I treated people the way he did, I'd surely have a lot of enemies.
Could you elaborate a bit on Mr. Willingham's behavior?
Oh, he was a proud one. Thought he was God's gift to mankind. Always strutting around, bragging about how many gratuities he'd earned or how many fist fights he'd won against drivers from Phillips. He had the shortest fuse I've ever seen, too. Just looking at him the wrong way could set him off. I'd always laugh to myself when he'd brag about how many women he'd had in a week.
Why is that?
Because it was obvious he had to pay for the pleasure. A man like that isn't going to get a woman otherwise. I may not be a hit with the ladies, but even I know that being a bastard is a surefire way to drop them off.
Are you familiar with the so-called Justice Killer?
I've heard a few rumors here and there about some murders in the Chum, but I haven't paid them much attention. There's plenty for me to worry about in my own life.
Aren't you concerned for your safety?
Not really. Well, I haven't done anything wrong. So if this loony's going around doing justice, it's nothing for me to worry about.
He makes a good point.
Yeah.
I think we need to get a better idea of what exactly these victims did to incur the wrath of our killer.
True, yeah.
What can you tell me about Coulson Cabs?
Not a bad place, really. Only problem is the number of people always coming here for work. Lots of folks think driving a cab is an easy job that anyone can do, but that's not the case. You need to know this city like the back of your hand, and it helps to know how to drive. So we get lots of fellas starting here who don't have the slightest clue what they're doing. They don't last long.
What about the automated cabs? Are those a problem for you?
I prefer not to think about those. Coulson said he's got no plans to replace his fleet, so it's all that matters to me.
Are you still living in Pumblechook Place?
I am, sir. Things are more or less the same, except Roger's not around anymore. Suppose he must have moved on. Hope he isn't planning on coming back, because his paintings made for great kindling.
Oh, I have a feeling he won't be. Have you had any trouble from the Redites?
No, sir. They got no reason to give us any trouble, what with us still using horse-drawn cabs. I imagine the fellas over at Phillips have, but I can't be certain. We don't deal with those a lot if we can help it.
I don't think interviewing anyone from Phillips would be a good use of our time. Our priority is finding the Justice Killer, after all.
I appreciate your time, sir.
Pleasure's all mine.
Okay.
I
Where are
thought
you?
about a career as a mechanic once. Glad I chose police work. Way less messy.
Yeah, except that you got yourself killed. Well, didn't get yourself killed. But anyway. Right, so what we got? House of Parliament. Oh yeah, the McDowell residence. Burley Kills' residence. We're still no closer to finding out who sabotaged. Sabotaged the iron mill. It all saved up. Let's go to the Burley Quarters residence. 2A.
The number is a bit faded. Is this 2B or is it not 2B?
Oh, so funny.
I thought the housekeeping in my apartment was bad.
Let's see who's in to be.
Yeah? May I help you, young man?
Sure.
Hello, madam. My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I have some questions about your neighbor.
You mean my former neighbor?
Yes. In any case, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with some information.
Nah, I don't think so. The last person to ask me about him was that awful policeman. I don't want to have to go through that again.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but I can assure you I won't give you a hard time.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but actions speak louder than words.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Is there anything I can do for you then?
Well, since you asked, my layabout husband is out wasting our retirement fund with his drinking. Go find him and bring him back here. Then maybe we can talk.
Oh, wonderful. Now we're playing babysitter.
You'll find him at the Silent Raven. It's not too far from here.
Yes, I know it.
Good. My husband's name is Kurt Williamson. You tell him his wife Ethel wants him home at once.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Williamson.
Right, okay. Right, well, let's go into 2A.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home. Apartment 2A. This is the place.
It is. Is there like a hidden
And I thought the
hidden key somewhere? No. Alright, okay. Right, the Silent Raven. Here once again. Let's see if we can find Kurt Williamson. Oh, it's right here.
Excuse me, are you Kurt Williamson?
That's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
Oh, yeah? What is it you want from me?
Your wife wants you home at once. Oh, sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you. I'll be on my way. Mr. Williams?
Huh?
Okay.
Sorry to bother.
Let's,
Been pretty quiet in the streets of late, hasn't it, Bertie?
You noticed too? I thought it was just me.
I'm not complaining, mind you. It's nice to be able to go out and about without stepping over half the chum in the process.
Indeed. What do you reckon's the reason for it?
Not a clue. Can't be illness. We'd have heard something by now. Whatever it is, let's just hope it keeps up. I never thought I'd see that bridge finished in my lifetime.
I know. Who'd have thought?
They're saying it might even be done by the end of this decade.
Bet you're looking forward to spending more time in Gascoigne, eh, Rose?
God, no. I wouldn't be caught dead there. Nothing but a bunch of thieves and drunk sailors. I'm just looking forward to not getting seasick anytime I need to cross the river.
that it, ladies? Yep, apparently.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Do you know anything about the man sitting at that table over there?
Not really. He comes in here a few times a week, but he mostly keeps to himself. I see his type all the time, though. Older, probably retired and looking to escape his home life. I feel sorry for him, but that sort of customer is my bread and butter.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
What is that, some fancy drink concoction?
No, it's the name that's been given to a serial murderer here in the Chum.
I see. Never heard of him. And if he's smart, he won't show his face around here.
You know, this place suddenly feels just a little bit safer.
How are things here now that the election hubbub has subsided?
Oh, right. I thought you looked familiar. You were the one in here asking about the fellow who was killed.
That's right.
Well, there hasn't been too much excitement since then. I've hardly had to toss anyone out, which is a right shame.
Why's that?
Kicking out a rowdy customer shakes things up a bit on a quiet night like this. Gets the blood flowing, you know?
What would a customer have to do to warrant being thrown out?
My general rule is if they're being a nuisance, they're out. If they try to pick a fight or are just being generally disrespectful, it's a one-way ticket to the pavement outside.
Good to know.
That seems fair.
What was it you said a person had to do to get thrown out?
Pick a fight or just be bothersome enough that other customers complain about them.
Right. Thanks. I appreciate you.
Oh, I think I see where this is going.
Yeah.
I think he's not gonna go and we're gonna have to get him ejected. Right, well, before we do that, I think I'm gonna end this part. So, I hope you've enjoyed. Have a good day, everyone. Hopefully speak to you soon. Bye.